And hey, look at that. We got Leighton Proctor piloting Goblins versus John Mox Matthias doing his standard Amulet Titan shenanigans.
Yep. Shenaniganing it up. So I believe Leighton was talking about how he wanted to switch up his deck a little bit. Was like, yeah, I want to switch it up. I like playing Goblins, but I'm also interested in different decks and everything.
Okay.
But he's rocking out Goblins tonight. And that's Chris Carosa there was also one of the guys that started coming to the shop playing Goblins before saying, you know what? Goblins is fun and all, like going at face and doing things like that, but I really want to just rain on people's parades and be death and taxes. And now he's switching it up to the point where, you know what was not fun? Losing to Eldrazi. So if you can't beat him, join him. So he's rocking out some Eldrazi for this season. You're not a mod? Oh, you switched over. Go back to the other one, and because I'm. Oh, I know why you aren't mod, because you haven't been on this channel yet.
You're fine. We'll fix it later. No worries.
No, aren't you? Am I signed on to Meta Bunch? No, I'm signed on as Brett.
Yeah.
Sign on to this, and I'll type something. Or here.
I got it.
You know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, I know what's going on.
While these players decide who's going first, who's going
Rex.
second.
We're gonna get a straw poll going. Don't you worry, Whip Stars.
We normally do. See, this is what happens when we switch over from our previous channel to this new one.
Mm-hmm.
We started getting all these commands set up. We're starting to make things all look nice, but then I drop the ball and forget to make Brett a mod. I think I'm a mod.
Dude, if I find out you're a mod...
You know why I'm a mod? Because I go on the channel and I can sit there and make myself a mod, but you haven't been on the channel. That's right. I said it.
We're shuffling. Look at those die.
Don't they look so nice on camera?
Mm-hmm.
That was another thing that all of your fine donations went towards, guys, is getting the nice dice for the stream. So, if you guys are familiar with Amulet Bloom, no longer a thing in Modern. Of course, Summer Bloom is banned, but this is kind of the new age version of it. Can still be super explosive.
And starting off with a Crumbling Vestige and an Amulet of Vigor. The New Age edition.
Alright, Amulet. Oh, Goblin Guide. And, oh, hey, here's a Titan on top, by the way. In case you wanted to see what I'm about, now you know. So, dropping Mox down to 18 life. But, oh my gosh, he has a second Amulet. Alright, so Amulet of Vigor says, if a land would enter tapped, you may have it enter untapped, essentially. So he can generate a lot of mana off of that, based on the double triggers setup. First trigger gets a land. Second trigger is a Serum Missions. But he'll take 4. Now, with the way it's set up, 2 mountains and 2 Goblin Guides, you're like, okay, is this like Mono Red Burn here? Or is this just like, what is this? What's happening? Alright, I'm sorry. I explained it in like the... Oh, so it's not just a land, it's a permanent. Thanks, Ben, keeping me honest. Whenever a permanent enters the battlefield tapped under your control, you may untap it. Or not may, sorry. You untap it. But not just applying to lands, applying to everything else.
We just normally see it applying to lands.
Yeah. So, John Matthias here, trying to do some math and like, all right, can I get a Titan out right now?
Yeah, John's been playing this deck for quite a while now and is very skilled in that. So here comes the Vestige. Floats twice.
A strong sideboard card against Blind Obedience. Yeah, my Blind Obedience Thalia hateful deck.
Mm-hmm. Ancient Stirrings reveals the Golgari Rot Farm.
Which is basically saying, hey, next turn, I'm going to have a Titan.
Right.
And I'm going to kill you.
Leighton fires off a lightning bolt at the end of turn, dropping John to 11. So, I mean, this is really the make or break turn for Leighton.
Mm-hmm.
John's already set up and prepared to start dealing some damage. And 2 Goblin Guides reveals Summoner's Pact twice. Takes him down to 7. But, thankfully, Leighton does have, because of those cheap little goblins, he does have some blockers.
He has some blockers, but
It's not
Primeval
gonna be
Titan
enough.
has Trample,
Right.
and he'll be able to give it +2, +0, Vigilance, Haste, and he'll be able to give it Double Strike.
Potentially.
Because he can generate plenty of mana to cast all of his stuff.
Right.
So he's going, all right, boom, generate 4 mana.
Nice. Bounce the Vestige
Return
back.
X. 5, 6.
Here's 6.
Here is my Primeval Titan.
Says 1 floating left.
Trigger, when it enters the battlefield, I'm going to get this land that gives him haste. I will also get this 1 land that I'm going to generate a bunch of mana off of. Return this land to my hand.
Mm-hmm.
Going to attack you. Get 2 more lands to give it Double Strike.
And this is kind of the power of this deck. It is just kind of building up for 1 turn to be able to just swing in with this Titan and end out. Now
it is, in a sense, an OTK deck.
In a sense.
Like, it's not always going to win on 1 turn.
No, and the thing is because Leighton is playing a lot of basic lands, at least from what we can say, he's not taking extra damage. So it's making... It's kind of putting John in a... Alright, cool, Radiant Fountain. Let's gain a couple life. He's really making John have it where normally it's a little bit easier to deal, 15, 16 damage instead of 20.
Right, and so that's why he's opting for the slower play here. Of saying, hey, I'll just gain some life initially. Don't worry about me.
In the tank, taking a look at his hand, deciding on which creature he'd like to summon.
I believe missing a pack trigger is on the bingo board. Now, as players go, I highly doubt John Matthias will be one of the players to miss it. But how is he able to get those lands twice?
So, the Amulet of Vigor there, Whip Stars, is how he is nailing down, tapping those lands twice.
Yeah, so you're getting the basically double triggers out of it, and that sets him up like that. Yeah, enter the battlefield, trigger off the first amulet. Yeah, so it's like, all right, well, the trigger's on the stack for the first one. I'm going to do the second one. Yeah, it's this like weird nuanced thing that players figured out when Summer Bloom was legal. Now you don't see the deck as much, but all right. So we see a Titan coming around here, getting some more triggers for some combat. Talaria West.
Mm-hmm.
Why your name looks like that?
It's because I'm logged in.
Ah, that makes sense. Can't read the bot thing. Yeah. Like, just the wording on it, it's a weird one.
Still thinking about what's that other land he'd like to get. I guess technically he's got 4.
I don't think he gave the second one haste.
Oh, you're right. We're still on his.
Yeah, it's still.
Okay. So it looks like Talaria West and a Gemstone Mine are going to be the lands.
Monk's being a really nice guy and using our dice because he talked about how he prefers to use his dice because I think he's got D8s or something like that. So he likes to spin them or something like that for his gemstone mines. But
We appreciate that, Mox.
so the dice on top also is indicating, hey, you have a pack trigger to remember, dummy.
And going to do a Serum Visions.
And this, did you notice how Mox drew his card? He left the dice pretty much on top, just like listed
So he
it
didn't forget?
Just so like right here could be a risky part where a lot of people mess up and forget to put the dice back on top, where they just move it.
Looks like 3 cards in hand for Leighton. 1 on top, 1 on bottom. That's how he's going to scry it out. Puts
Right
the
back
die
on top.
back on top. And it's going to pass back.
Yeah, and Layton's like, I'll take 1 attack, right? What's 1 attack? I mean, you can't kill me next turn, can you? Oh, but he can. And now, with 2 Titans, there's no way those goblins are getting through. If he's got a goblin grenade
Now's the time.
and 2 lightning bolts or 2 goblin grenades, you're set.
I'd take 2 Goblin Grenades.
Don't believe he has any though. Reckless Bushwhacker? I don't know. I can't tell.
Let's see the Goblin deck off, and I'm not familiar with these cards as well. I think it wasn't the one. Was that the Mog War Fanatic?
Mm-hmm. That was out last time.
Yeah.
Makes tokens.
Yeah. See, that's about the extent as it goes.
And another one.
Okay. Passes back.
It's a goblin that costs 2 mana.
No. Okay. So he's attacking. Gonna go to 1. Well, I was able to deal 8 damage, but... He's at 12, though.
He dies.
I mean, he dies just when he passes back.
Yeah.
He doesn't... Mox doesn't even have to do anything. He pays his pack trigger.
Yep.
Draws for turn. And it says go to combat and swing. So I guess he was just trying to make him have it. Say, alright, you gotta attack me.
Oh, it was a Goblin Bushwhacker, not the reckless one. So good to know. So he paid the kicker to give his guys +1, +0, and haste. But yeah, Mock's able to just kind of pass it on over with that double Titan action to take game number 1. Let's take a gander at their sideboards, see what possible options they have for this match. Who do you want to read?
I'll do Leighton.
Okay.
So we got 4 Shattering Spree, 2 Fork Bolt, 3 Smash to Smithereens, 2 Dragon's Claw, 1 Goblin Pile Driver, 1 Dismember, and 2 Everlasting Torment. I do like the Dismember here. Just to kind of weaken a Titan blow. It doesn't necessarily get rid of it, but hey, dropping it down by 5 is, at least for me, I think it's pretty nice. Yeah. This Everlasting Torment, though, what does this do? Enchantments, black or red. Players can't gain life. Damage can't be prevented. All damage is dealt, though, as its source had Wither. Deals damage to creatures in form of -1/-1 counters.
Interesting. So that could potentially be used to deal with the Titans. I think he should bring it in anyway, just because players can't gain life. And he knows that Mox basically saved himself by getting the land that gains him life. What's that land called?
Radiant Fountain.
Radiant Fountain, thank you.
Mm-hmm. I do like the Shattering Spree.
Yeah.
Smash is too expensive, I think, even though it deals a bit of damage to him as well. But being able to just, have targeted removal for those amulets, I think is pretty important as well. Slow Mox down. But I think that's about it for me.
Makes sense. So, on Mox's side, we have 3 Leyline of Sanctity, 1 Grafdigger's Cage, 1 Dragonlord of Tarka, 1 Bajuka Bog, 1 Swan Song, 1 Malira, Sylvan Outcast, 1 Pithing Needle, 1 Slaughter Pact, 2 Pyroclasm, 1 Spellskite, 1 Seal of Primordium, and 1 Nature's Claim. Mm-hmm. So...
kind of a toolbox.
2 Pyroclasms coming in. Mm-hmm. Even the Spellskite can come in here to 0-4 to block or to get in the way. You can redirect spells to it if need be. Those are the ones that really are jumping out at me. Leyline, he's not playing a burn deck.
He's not, and I mean, you would think that a Leyline of Sanctity would be good here. However, he's playing a low to the ground creature deck. Yeah, and, he's playing goblins. Mm-hmm. So Leyline of Sanctity is really not going to do a whole lot. Yep. In the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, I see Pyroclasm and Spellskite. That's I'd say those 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it shapes up as we head on over to game number 2 between John and Leighton. I don't know how anyone has long hair.
Oh, they put it up in ponytails.
Yeah. I guess their necks are more conditioned to the hair as well. Mm-hmm. It's only Halloween once a year, right?
Yeah, you don't have to worry about it any other time of year.
That's true. All for you guys.
To make Modern Magic Mondays entertaining for you. Plus, Brett's going to be doing some more streaming later. You got to watch him be scared.
God, I'm so nervous. Like, it was one thing when it was Resident Evil, but...
Now, but it's like...
It's actually something I have no idea about. Oh.
Headphones on, lights out.
Lights out. I'm gonna be wrecked.
Brett's not sleeping tonight.
Nope.
All right. So after seeing that match, is there anything Leighton can do?
So I thought when he played the 2 goblin bushwhackers, he was just applying blockers to kind of stave off the damage. Whether or not it was going to be enough, I'm too bad at math to figure that out right now. But the attack, I feel like, because he was 1 short, Mox didn't even have to do anything. He just needed to turn his Titan sideways and call it a game. So I feel like at that point, when you're staring down 2 Primeval Titans, you have to play more defensively. Maybe had he had those Goblin Grenades or more targeted damage, that is probably what he's trying to gear towards. Low to the ground is great in the beginning, but once the Titans come out, it becomes a whole lot more difficult.
Yeah. And not only that, Mox had 2 of them.
Yes.
So it could have been a little bit different. Yeah, push for damage if Mox didn't have 2. Because then you win.
Well, so here's the thing. I mean, this Amulet Titan deck, it's not difficult to get 2 Titans. It is not uncommon.
Right.
Even though it costs 6, you're generating so much mana with this deck that it's very easy to play 1 or 2 Titans.
You get so much mana. You have your packs. You have your Teleria West that you can search for your packs. Like, you can be able to get Titans out pretty easily.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, it's not difficult. And then, the deck also plays Azusa. Yep. And it plays Sakura Tribe Scout. So, I mean, these are just sufficient blockers for little 1/1 goblins. So just some things to think about. If you are playing the goblins, the 8-whack, I think is what they call it.
Yes.
8-whack. If you're playing burn, just keep in mind that targeted removal is your... I say targeted removal, but targeted spells. Burn spells. That's really what you want. And he was doing a pretty good job. I mean, he had John to 9.
And that's after he had gained life off of Radiant Fountain.
Right, so he technically was at 7.
So, less than that because he... Oh, no.
Fountain gets you 2?
Yes, it gave you 2. I thought he had played it a second time, but no, he only played it once. He had it in his hand that he could have played it again, but yes. Yeah, so he was at 7, so that would have been enough to kill him if he had not gotten it. But that... he has that ability to get land that he needs. So
Leighton at 6. Oh, going to 5.
That's not good.
No, it is not. John holding on 7 cards. So we're gonna shuffle up. Hey, what do you think of Leighton's lands?
I don't remember what set they're from.
Yeah.
Initially.
Were they all the same?
I don't remember that either.
Same
art? I was so focused on trying to figure out what goblins were on the field that I was distracted. But now that you mention it, I'm going to pay more attention.
If anyone's going to focus on the lands, it's the Nan Man.
So I'm of the mindset that I like my lands to match. Some people like to be like, I like these couple of arts. And I'm going to play these couple of arts. Now, really high level players can look at your hand, Cataxian Probes, Inquisition, Thoughtseize, things like that, and see, okay, you have these lands in your hand. Cool, write it down. Look at the pictures of them. Cool. And then the next turn, when you play a different art mountain,
he knows, hey, you still have, or he or she knows, hey, you still have.
That was land. The card you just drew.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mountain.
I feel like that's like from a core set.
He kept 5, but passes back.
Bolt him.
Amulet of Vigor for John.
They seem like very basic mountains.
Is that pile driver?
That is a pile driver.
All right, so potentially bringing in the one-of pile driver he had in his sideboard. Maybe he runs him in the main deck. I would assume you probably run him in the main deck.
Yeah, I think you have a couple in the main deck there. Another.
Wow! Holy moly, man! I died to John with three amulets once, so that was sad.
3 amulets.
Yeah. So here's 4 mana. Here's a Summoner's Pact on turn 2.
For what? Hey, I have 2 green and 2 red. Mm-hmm. In case you were wondering.
Gets Azusa.
And I'm gonna play a bunch of lands.
Yep.
Remember that land that I just bounced in my hand?
That's coming. Again. I'm gonna do it again. Don't worry.
And he's gonna use a dice to represent his land drops. Well, he might not need to.
So
we'll see. So he's got 1 left floating.
I'm assuming it's probably green.
1 green seems like a fine thing to keep floating.
So here is.
Yeah. So he's saying, okay.
Second land drop, floats some mana. Here's 5 total. 3 green, 2 red.
Yep.
Green's the most prominent color in this deck, so that's why I go with.
Oh, it makes sense.
He's probably
gonna keep at least an extra.
Yep. Plays it again. So now we're at 9 total. Five and 4.
Oh.
What? No way. Not
a
Primeval Titan.
Now he should have 1 land drop left on Azusa too.
Or is this representing... Oh, I've cast 2 lands.
I think this represents that's his 3rd. Because he played the Gruul, tapped it, got Azusa off the Summoner's Pact, land number 2, and then 3.
Okay.
So he's good, but he is going to be getting 2 more lands with Primeval Titan entering the battlefield. And it looks like it's going to be the Slayer Stronghold to give him haste, +2/+0.
Oh, and I'll do it again to Azusa as well.
Yep.
And I'll return this to my hand. Then I will choose to attack with both of these guys. Trigger, I'll get I'll be able to give my guy a double strike. He'll either get, I think he doesn't run that many garrisons, but he does run
Vesuva. Which allows him to copy. Let me get the actual Oracle text on that card.
Was it Slayer's Stronghold as the double strike land?
It's actually Sunhome, I believe.
Okay.
Stronghold is haste, +2/+0, haste, and vigilance.
Okay.
So you may have Vesuva enter the battlefield tapped as a copy of any land on the battlefield.
Choosing not for the double strike, playing a little bit safer here.
Mm-hmm. So 2 gemstone mines, and we'll resolve damage, dealing 11 on 1 swing.
Yep, from Azusa and Primeval Titan.
Ancient Stirrings.
That's nice. I mean, you're sitting in latent seat, you're like, well, I had to mulligan down to 5.
Yep. Mulligan to 5. Oh, your creatures are also have vigilance. Great.
Yeah.
So now I can't even attack in. Wow. Gets the 3rd. Casts it. And says, hey,
turn.
You can go ahead.
I'm done now.
Yeah, I've successfully, and
And there's the handshake.
Leighton's like, I can't do anything about that.
Yeah, you have 3 amulets now. You're gonna get all the double strikes, all the haste and the vigilance and the +2s and no.
I mean, that was turn 2.
Yeah. That was round number 2, guys.
Round number 2. Well, that was fun.
That was Amulet Titan.
That was it. I mean, it's still, like, I don't know who decided that they were like, you know what, I just really missed when it was Bloom Titan.
Yeah.
You know, we got rid of Summer Bloom. Let's figure out. I guess I'm not surprised, though.
That somebody decided, hey, you know what?
I can figure out how. And John is playing a very interesting card. I don't know if others are playing it or if he's just... I think he mentioned he was just trying it out. But he was playing... what is it? Cruel... Heartless Summoning, I think. Heartless. It's 1 and a black. All creatures you control get -1/-1, but they creature cards cost 2 converted mana, 2 colorless less.
Oh,
so instead of
that's what the Eldrazi lists were running initially.
Yeah.
Heartless
Summoning, I think
it's an enchantment.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. I too am aware
hey, there
of
it
this
is.
card.
Heartless Summoning. Yep. So it's like cool. That Titan. Hey, it costs 4 now.
Blah.
Oh, but it's a 5/5. So that's the price you pay. It's now a 5/5.
So I get my Titans out sooner, but it might take me an extra turn to kill you.
Right. Sometimes. Like I said, I got turn 2'd.
Yeah,
so
I mean, you can sit there, fetch and shock, and then you're...
That's the thing.
And then you're dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really powerful deck. I do not recommend going out and just buying the stuff for it. Like, you just saw it on stream. Man, that was awesome. I want to play this deck. It is a really complicated deck.
Highly complex. It requires a lot of thought process, and John has been piloting it for quite some time, and he's learning the ins and outs very quickly.
He also played it for many months on Magic Online before he got the paper version.
Just to be sure.
And now, you also have that transition period if you go from Magic Online to paper, because Magic Online, it reminds you of all your triggers. Hey, dummy, don't miss this. Flash, flash, flash. And stops you. You know, would you like to pay your pack trigger?
Yes.
Why, yes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Magic Online.
Wow.
Can't believe you're so nice right now.
Moto.
So
don't bug out on me.
Yeah. So that is a recommendation. If you like that deck, maybe look into picking it up online and testing with it online, playing it out there.
Yeah.
Before just jumping into the paper. You will get frustrated with the deck. But when it works, you'll have a lot of fun crushing people's hopes and dreams.
Yeah.
So just a little tidbit there for y'all. But that was round 2. Let's a little bit slower. First couple rounds have been a little bit longer, I'd say. I mean, that was a super quick match. Because Mox was just like...
I mean, he had it. Two amulets getting a third off an Ancient Stirrings. All right, cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Game over.
Yeah, 2 games in a row, double amulet.
What are you gonna do?
You can't really fight that.
You can't do anything.
So let's see points.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's take a look. Blammo.
Wow.
No draws still.
I like it. No draws. Josh Robinson, our newest face for Season 3, sitting at 6 points. I assume he's still playing Black-White Tokens.
He is, because I'm about to play him in round 3.
Oh, nice.
I battled against Ben round 1 and Julia round 2, and sadly I beat Julia in round 2. Again, it's the single target.
Dude.
I know. So the thing is, I'm kind of the gatekeeper to the top 8, even though I'm not counting towards points. I still look at who I'm playing against. Oh, you're trying to make it to the top 8 this season? All right, I'm going to go a little bit harder against you.
Yeah, let me help you out. Let me help you earn that. Jamie Armel, Johnny Boyd, John Mathias, and Lyle Rolfs all sitting at 6 points. Larger handful, TJ, Keenan, Calvin, Chris, Ryan, Robert, Ben, Chris, Keller, Leighton Proctor, Julia, and Steven all sitting at 3 points. And then Chris Carrozza, Warren Zeff, Tim Rivenberg, and Jerry Miller not able to pick up a a win just yet.
Not yet. They're trying out. So let's see round 3. Let's see what we've got on camera this time around.
Sounds good. Yo, Puglord, what's going on, dude? Welcome. Happy Halloween.